everybody, it's me, Mario, and I'm Yoshi, and welcome back to yet another Game Theory reaction video. Now, today, we're going to be reacting to a Game Theory video about Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Oh, really? We're gonna react about that? Yep, it's pretty much all the rage nowadays, or I think it used to be? I don't know. But we're going to react to it today. Also, I got a phone call from Toad. You did? Yeah, he told me he was coming over for Christmas. Oh, so what, like the whole gang will be here? Almost. Princess Peach is... she said she was coming as well, but, it's gonna take her a little longer to get here. Oh, right. But anyways, we should probably get started. Yep, we should. Alright, you ready, Yoshi? I'm ready, Mario. Okie dokie. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's a cute little baby. It's so cute.
Huggies Calm Wipes clean, hydrate, soothe, and replenish. So no matter how delicate your tushy is, we got you, baby.
Score last-minute gift deals at Going Gone by Dick's Sporting
That
Goods.
baby was cute.
Your holiday
He
shopping
was.
Bit by bit, we've been working to solve Security Breach before its launch, and so far I feel pretty darn good about what we've concluded. The reappearance of Glitch Trap and the dual nature of Vanny seem all but confirmed. The repurposing of the toy animatronics still feels very much possible. Even some of my bigger swings have wound up being home runs. Huh! Well, that's explicit. Real quick, Music Man FNAF. There's a couple like evidence pieces or like loose threads that I keep in the back of my head and hold it until a point where it becomes useful. Music Man is one of those. So to suddenly see a character with 6 legs and clown gloves, this is the closest thing that connects. I would assume, because anything that usually has a lot of legs like this is able to climb walls and climb ceilings, I wouldn't be surprised to see this be attacking from the ceiling or a wall.
3 weeks later.
Oh! Oh! I called it! Let's go! Music Man! So, we've talked about the villains, we've talked about the animatronics, we've talked about the plot. Today, with a month left before release, it's time to talk about how this whole thing is gonna end.
This is gonna get interesting.
Welcome to Game Theory,
Yeah,
the show that
definitely.
critics describe as Vanny-tastic. Before we begin, a quick reminder that 1 week from today, Tuesday, November 30th, is our big and final charity live stream benefiting St. Jude. It is the single biggest YouTube collaboration of the year. 50 creators across 9 hours. We have everything from Markiplier doing trumpet solos and Dawko doing contortions to Corpse Husband reading children's books and Dream getting dunked on in Squid Game. There's even giveaways that you can win with your donations. Pixel 6s, OLED switches, even special Security Breach merch that was sent to us directly from Steel Wool Studios. And it's all dedicated to treating children with cancer and then passing those treatments along so that anyone else affected with cancer can benefit. Which, gotta say,
Well,
all
that's
of
a
us
positive
know someone who's
outlook
been affected
on
by cancer.
humanity,
Your
isn't
dad
it?
Hearing that a child has
Yeah.
gotten that awful diagnosis makes it hit even harder. So if you want to be a part of the biggest YouTube
Doing this
collab
for
of the year and a
the
day full of
children
fun charity,
seems
make sure you're here
pretty
next
nice.
Tuesday, November 30th.
Yeah.
Can we cross
Even though
$1
this
million
is
in 9
this video
hours?
is
Well,
old,
you're
it
about to get there,
still
so hit the button that you see on screen
it still
right now.
benefits
Make sure you're
to
notified when it goes
to
live.
take care of those who can't take care of
Steel Wool Studios are
themselves.
hyping up the upcoming release of FNAF Security Breach by releasing short clips of an old Freddy Fazbear cartoon called Freddy and Friends on Tour. These
Yoshi, I
horror
overheard
like
from our
old
creator
Hanna-Barbera
that
cartoon, like
he's gonna be getting this game at some point. Really? Yeah, I think it's gonna be a Christmas present.
Screenshot of an existing animatronic in the middle of the episode,
Really?
as well as the more focused reveal of a
pretty
new
sure.
animatronic towards the end. So, hidden in the middle of episodes,
Okay,
you see glitches showcasing
that'll be
Chica,
interesting.
Roxy Wolf, Monty Gator, our security guard from the game's first teaser, but now with yellow eyes, and these creepy bots, which we later learned in the game's trailer appear to be the service bots that are wandering around the Security Breach's mall complex. Meanwhile, at the end of each video, you had the reveal of the Sun and Moon guy, Evil Vanny, and of course, Music Man! There's even the reintroduction of Glitch Trap, who, in the final video, can be found by piecing together the upload's 20 purple and yellow glitches kind of like a puzzle. Probably one of the coolest ideas for a teaser reveal that I've ever seen, and honestly, just a really smart callback because, based on the YouTube description for these videos, these things are coming from the Fazbear Entertainment Archive. And what are we doing with these old tapes? We're assembling them. Just like we saw with FNAF VR, we're assembling the tapes, also assembled Glitch Trap. So, yet again, we assemble a series of tapes, the glitches get stronger, upload after upload, and boom, Gold Bunny make people go bye-bye. I don't know if they meant this intentionally or not, but still, cool detail. And then, just a couple weeks ago, the actual trailer came out and confirmed a lot of what we were seeing. There's all the animatronics, there's the creepy service bots, there's Music Man! We know basically everything that's in this game because we've seen basically everything that's been
He
teased.
seems to be obsessed with Music Man.
All the reveals,
Clearly.
the teasers, and trailers, one thing remains a mystery. There is still one teased item that hasn't been revealed, and that is a tentacle monster. You heard that right. At the end of Fazbear and Friends Episode 1, we get this, a sliding tentacle slithering across the screen. And you know it's a big deal because it's simultaneously the first thing they tease, but also the last thing that they're keeping secret. In fact, based on details from the trailer as well as new clues
That's
that
a little creepy.
universe,
A
I not only
black
think I know
tentacle?
what that is, but also the whole ending sequence of this game. This one is a biggie and feels like once again I am swinging for the fences. But if it proves to be true, well, let me tell you, I'll be even more excited than this. Music Man! And speaking of things that get you more hyped than seeing your favorite reject animatronic make his triumphant return, let me just remind you that new FNAF wear and Theory wear are available right now for the holidays. Live out your wildest fantasies in this awesome Glam Rock Freddy denim jacket, but look out, someone's watching your back. Or if black isn't your color, how about something a bit brighter, like the satin jacket with pink and cyan highlights. It's warm, it's cozy, and it's covered in embroidered patches.
Oh, sick headphones. Mine barely work.
These are pretty. You should get them.
I know, I really need a new pair.
The only thing it doesn't have are totally rad lasers to go with it.
Uh-oh.
There's also the option
I
of
fell
short
asleep
or long
again.
t-shirts for all your favorites, from
Okay.
Monty to Fanny
Yeah, I'm
and
good.
everyone in between.
I'm gonna see
Meanwhile,
how
all the rest
far
of
I
the
can skip ahead. Oh, okay. I can see. About... What do you think, right here? Yeah, I think you're good right here. Okay.
shop for all your consumerist needs. Now then, let's talk tentacles. Across the series, there's only ever been one character associated with long, slimy black tentacles, and that is Nightmarion, the Nightmare Puppet, who came out as part of the Halloween update for FNAF 4 way back when I still had hopes that this series would end with 4 games. Oh, what a fool I was. And who we more recently saw in FNAF VR's Night Terrors minigame. This thing is like a hentacle that is just waiting to happen. Probably a hentacle that's already happened, to be honest, but I dare not look in that direction. So when you see a tentacle sliding across a staticky screen, immediately your mind is going to jump to this character. And from a story standpoint, this would also make some level of sense. I mean, William Afton is back in the form of Glitch Trap.
Okay,
so
I mean that does make sense, but
this
looking
protector
at
of
the
lost
looking
souls
at the
that stand
teasers
opposed to it,
for
which is why
the
it's best to come
tentacle,
along for the ride too,
you
and
don't
efforts
see
to
that little
support
white
what's
pattern
there.
on the end of
One
its
problem with all this,
tentacles.
though, Nightmarion isn't canon. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's complicated. Go figure, it's FNAF. Big surprise there. You see, Nightmarion's
How
original
is it
appearance in
not
FNAF 4's
canon?
Halloween update is not canon. Something confirmed by Scott a long time ago before that DLC launched. Its appearance in FNAF VR, on the other hand, is canon, but not in the way you think. This is because FNAF VR is itself a video game produced by Fazbear Entertainment. So Nightmarion in the world of FNAF is no better than Mario, or Master Chief, or a Slender Man. It's a video game character, and as far as we know, that's it. It's not an actual active part of the real world lore in that universe. And you see, it's the lore that provides us
Okay,
another
that
problem
does
here.
bring
Not
a
only is the puppet
confusing,
burned away, its
a
spirit is released
confusing
in the fire that
narrative
happens
to
at the end of the
this.
pizzeria simulator.
Yeah.
And unlike Afton,
Yeah,
he created
it
a
does.
digitized version of himself
'Cause
hidden in the video
how
game.
can
Something tells me
a
that the
character
puppet
be
wasn't
real,
coding
but
C++
not
in
real?
between giving gifts, giving life. As the last nail in the coffin here, the tentacle that we see at the end of Freddy and Friends is missing its signature white stripes.
Yeah, I
Although
pointed
it's
that
made to come
out.
back, sure, Puppet Mask didn't fully burn away. It
Yeah.
was found in the wreckage of the
You
Francis
did point that
Pizzeria,
out.
so it's still infused with the agony of Charlie in order to fight against Afton one final time. Whatever. But honestly, honestly, I think there's evidence to suggest a better candidate for that tentacle, Baby. So the final Fazbear Frights book
Who
just came
now?
out, number 11, Prankster. And with it came the
Is
chance
he
to look back
talking-
across the
is he
whole
talking about
collection and
Circus
analyze what
Baby
Easter eggs were there
from
to help solve the
Sister
game lore.
Location?
One big takeaway from
Oh,
the series,
that thing.
we now absolutely know what was inside the FNAF 4 box. It was a person. Don't at me about this one. This is undeniable at this point, and nothing you say is gonna change my mind about it. Here's why. In Prankster, we get this line during the finale, quote, Jake had found the real homeless girl that Eleanor replaced. As a quick aside here and reminder, Eleanor is this book's stand-in for Baby. The real girl had been locked in a trunk in the abandoned building where Jake had originally found Eleanor. Now, this one instance alone wouldn't be enough to make me 100% sure about this, but they repeat it twice. Earlier in this same stretch of like 20 or so pages, the exact same thing happens again. Only this time, it's Eleanor that's locked in the box waiting to pop out. And if those 2 times weren't enough for you, in the final FNAF novel, The Fourth Closet, Baby hides a person inside of a large chest and then goes to steal their identity. Quote from this book, John moved to a large green chest, the paint almost entirely worn off. There was no lock. John knelt beside it, found the handle and heaved it open, then shuddered, falling back and pushing himself away. Jessica, he gasped, moving back to the chest and leaning over it. Jessica. What, John? I'm trying to listen. It's Charlie, he said hoarsely, in the chest. So 3 times in the various books of this franchise have we opened up a chest to find some person.
Loving us pay bump in our allowance. Wonder where Mom and Dad get the
Why
extra
would
money.
they be in a chest, of all places?
Maybe they heard that extended
Well,
customers can save
obviously,
hundreds,
one of
and
them
maybe
being a
one
robot,
limited
it would
life
make
and get one
sense,
free.
but the other 2 are dead kids?
Make like Mom would make.
I mean,
It's gonna be
are
great.
the chests supposed to be a stand-in for coffins? I don't know.
Resting inside. That alone would be enough to be a trend, but the similarities in these situations continue. Not only
They
does
do,
this very
do
odd
they?
and very specific thing happen in both Fazbear Frights and the Silver Eyes novels, but both times the person inside the box is Charlie the puppet, or whatever her equivalent is in that universe. In the Fourth Closet, it's Charlotte, daughter of the genius animatronic inventor Henry, who tragically loses his young girl and then tries to rebuild her using robots. And over in Fazbear Frights, the homeless girl in the box is named Renelle. Stop me if this starts to sound familiar, but she's the daughter of genius inventor Dr. Telbert, who tragically loses his young girl and then tries to keep her alive by inventing Remnant. I'm just saying, whether you like it or not, it just seems like the books are trying real hard to tell us the solution to this one. And
Yeah,
that's
those
not
do
a
sound
theory. That
similar.
is me just literally calling attention to a repeated pattern in the books. Anyway, with the final Fazbear Fright comes the ending to the Stitch Wraith story that I've been yammering on about for the better part of 2 years. And for good reason. This one story, told in short chunks at the end of each novel, has contained some of the biggest lore reveals of any piece of media this franchise has ever produced. It was this story that really strengthened my belief in Golden Freddy having 2 souls inside of him. It's also the one that gives us that scene that we just talked about with the box. It even has a lore dump in the final pages where they just outright define what Remnant is. So that's why it really caught my attention when Baby started to do something that was completely out of character, shooting long black tentacles out of her body. Quote from the book, her eyes bulged, black tentacles shot from her mouth, from her fingers, from her toes. The slimy black vines climbed up the walls, slithered over the floor. Tentacles flew from her and wrapped around his face. Yeah, that's new. So we have ourselves Baby, an animatronic that can transform into a believable copy of any person, now also able to erupt into blood tentacles. Yeah, the tentacles are made from black blood. Sorry if I didn't mention that before, but yep. But there's another
Black
reason
blood?
I think Baby's our tentacle monster. It's because I think she's actually our big bad of the game. The one who is really pulling the strings here. You see, back in April, I did 3 short mini-theories on Security Breach, with one focused on exactly this topic, the return of Elizabeth Afton. At the time, it was a mini-theory for a reason. It was just a hunch with a teeny bit of evidence. But now, that evidence is starting to pile up faster than dead bodies in a pizzeria. And to understand why, we have to make one more trip to the books. At the midway point of our Stitch Wraith story, we have our Golden Freddy spirit stand-ins having to equip themselves with the puppet mask in order to fight against a giant 15-foot trash rabbit called the Afton Amalgamation. You're not stroking out, friends. That is the unironic words printed onto real paper and produced en masse for readers to consume. You hear that? Shakespeare is rolling in his grave as we speak. Basically, Afton's spirit had possessed a lot of different objects, and those all fused together with trash in order to form a giant garbage Godzilla. Back when I wrote that theory, I had this to say. I am not going to sit here and say that we will at some point in this series be forced to fight a giant trash bunny possessed by a serial killer. But now, 7 months later, things have changed. And, yeah, I am gonna sit here and say that we will, at some point in the series, be forced to fight a giant trash bunny possessed by a serial killer. Yep, the series about pizzeria-themed murders has decided that giant garbage rabbit kaiju is the next logical step in the story that they feel it wants to tell. I am so tired. Now, if this was a normal FNAF game, then no. Of course,
Well,
there's no giant trash monster. But this
technically,
is but
if I
normal
do
FNAF
recall
game.
correctly,
First,
I
now that Security
saw
Breach will have boss
the true
battles, this is
ending
confirmed on the
where
PlayStation blog article
William
from the
Afton
game.
technically
If these
is
moments
the
of Monty
is
Gator from the
a
trailer
boss you
don't look like a boss
fight,
battle intro sequence, then
but
I don't know what does. Reminds me of the American Gladiators
but,
Assault. We also know that the game's primary mechanic is climbing into Freddy's
what else?
oversized birthday cake hatch to pilot him around like a mech suit. You
I
don't
think
just
we
include a
do
mecha
know
suit like that in
what
your game
the
if all
tentacle
you're doing
goes
with it
to.
is stealthing around a mall. You insert that sort of stuff in order to punch serial killers in the face. But you know what seals the deal for me is the trailer. Throughout the Freddy and Friends teaser images, we've seen pictures
Oh
of
right,
animatronics
what
all
was
cracked and
that? What was
broken.
it called?
Are they corrupted by
The
acid?
Blob?
Maybe we destroy them over the
Yeah,
course of the
yeah,
night.
that was it.
It's a weird
Yeah,
little
that's
detail,
what the
but then
tentacle
trailer
belongs
goes
to.
and shows us a bit more. We see this scene of a broken chica that's attacking us in a tunnel made from garbage. Now that is a bizarre setting for a game that's set in a mall and, according to the PlayStation Store, the sewers underneath the mall. Trash is just everywhere. So is this the game that's finally given us what we've all been demanding? Hashtag justice for trash in the gang? Or is it something more? Remember what I said about the broken version of the animatronics that we keep seeing in the trailers? Well, one of the main components of Trash Afton are the pieces and parts of other ruined animatronics. I wouldn't be surprised if the final boss battle of the game is against a giant amalgamation of all the other animatronics combined, which in turn strengthens the baby theory. You see, in the books, yet again, Trash
Yeah,
Afton
that's
is
the blob
described
he's
as
talking
weak.
about.
In fact, it's so important that they decide to say it twice. First in book 6, and then again in book 11. In reality, it's actually Eleanor that's powering the whole thing. So if we do in fact descend down into a landfill to fight a giant trash rabbit kaiju, the one really pulling the strings will be the black blood tentacles of the shape-shifting baby. But there's one last thing worth mentioning, and that's this game's return to the first ever pizzeria, Fredbear's Family Diner. Dawko recently did a live stream to benefit our St. Jude campaign. Dawko, you're an amazing and wonderful person. Thank you for your support. But whenever there's a Dawko charity stream, you know that close behind is gonna be some FNAF teasers. And Steel Wool did not disappoint. They sent him a series of posters including these 3 from Fredbear's Family Diner, the original pizzeria mentioned way back in FNAF 2.
Don't you get those posters as collectibles in the game? Yeah, I think so.
Now, the existence of these posters alone is pretty sus, considering game developers don't have the bandwidth to spend a lot of time on artwork that isn't getting used in your actual game. What's even weirder, though, is that the new Freddy and Friends teeth...
What is this, like the 3rd ad? It pretty much is.
Why not?
And we can't skip it.
L'eau de parfum. Yves Saint Laurent. At Macy's, the fragrance destination.
No matter the mess, Huggies wipes are thicker and more absorbent for an unbeatable clean. We got you, baby.
Teasers also revisit what appears to be the first pizzeria in episode 2, based on the building's small size, red and white striped awnings, and wooden interior. But all of that, coupled with the descent into a landfill-looking area, leads me to believe that the mall is built on top of the original Fredbear's Family Diner location. We've actually seen a lot of this before throughout the series. In both Sister Location and the Twisted ones, we have large underground warehouses constructed under existing buildings and
it's
businesses. And
actually,
again, in the Silver Eyes, we see Charlie and the
what,
gang
Pizza
break into a
Simulator
giant
that the mall is
mall,
built on
read
top
also
of?
Pizzaplex, built around
Yeah.
one of the earliest
It's
pizzeria locations.
it's that,
Even FNAF VR ended with the scene of
what
glitch
is it,
trap beckoning us to the back room where we
Fredbear's
then went out
Pizza
the
Place?
side door towards security
Yeah.
mall in the middle of being constructed. Long story short,
Yeah,
there is
it's
a
that's the
constant
place
running
that's
theme of old
underneath the
places being
Pizzaplex.
connected to and buried under new, flashier establishments. So, us going down a trash tunnel in the trailer, passing old wrecked versions of the animatronics, we have to be headed somewhere. Why not the first ever location, where Glitchtrap would be at his strongest, would be able to be resurrected into the nightmare hand that we saw at the end of the first teaser, notice those fingers, and eventually form into the trash monster that we fight. So that, my friends, is the wild prediction I have for the final act of this game. You descend into the sewers and eventually wind up in tunnels of trash under the building, which eventually leads to the site of the first ever diner, Fredbear's family. Here, where his powers are strongest, Glitchtrap leaves Vanny's body and regains his own. We hop into our Mecha Freddy for a boss battle to knock him around a bit, and desperate, he absorbs all the ruined animatronics and trash around him. We destroy him yet again, only to reveal the black tentacles. It was Baby all along. Cue the next game and subsequent 20 installment book series. But hey, these animatronics may be horrifying, but not everything that's made of metal has to be. That's where our sponsor Displate comes in. Their metal posters are...
Well, technically that's the end of the video, but I mean, I'll give him credit for his theories. I mean, they are very interesting, to say the least. Yeah, but some of what he said is not exactly what goes down in the game. Yeah, I mean, honestly, just by seeing some gameplays by using Freddy, all you can do is just move around as him and not get detected. Yeah, you can't really do a whole lot with him. It's only Gregory that does all the work. Yeah, I think there are a couple of theories about Gregory and other things, but we'll have to come to those another time. But anyways, everyone, that's the end of the video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed our content. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments down below if you have any thoughts for us on what we should do next. Yeah, and also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you never miss any of our videos. And we'll see you guys in the next episode of Mario and Yoshi Adventures. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. See you next time, everybody. Wahoo!